Hi, it's Dr. Deb on the web. So thank you for joining me. Today we're going to talk about weight reduction. And remember, as with all of these discussions, they're for educational purposes only. So with anything important to you about your health, you really need to talk to your own physician. So here's our problem. We call this the bulge. Okay, chunky monkey, pleasantly plump. We have lots of nice names for it, but this is what happens to most of us. We get a few pounds here and there, especially with our holidays. So let's talk about some weight reduction that we can do by diet and lifestyle changes. Not everybody with a weight problem will benefit from diet and lifestyle changes. And this instructional video is intended really for only those who are overeaters. And if you're like me, you know who you are. So let's get to the heart of this and talk about fat. So when most people see the word fat, they immediately are very unhappy. But what you should realize is that there are things you can be happy about with your fat, okay? What fat is a way to store calories and also a way to make hormones that are important for your body. If you didn't have any fat, your brain would be smaller and it would shrink in size, and you would have to spend all of your day eating just to keep up. And you would constantly need to eat to survive. But by having some fat, you're able to have a big brain, not eat all day, and actually make some of the hormones you need. In fact, if women don't have enough fat, they can't go on to have reproductive success and babies. So fat is important. Too much fat, though, is very unsightly, which is a very nice word for it. It's basically unsightly. You don't want to have too much fat because too much fat not only is cosmetically unappealing, but it's also actually very bad for your health as well. Okay, so let's talk about that. Making this better or worse, we'll see. Oh, not so bad. Okay, so moving on. So fat, the reason we want to reduce fat is, of course, diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, and things like that. So why do people get fat? Well, when you're a nice, happy person and you're growing up, you've got a nice, slender body, and things are good, and you're growing this way, okay? So when this growth stops, then you start to grow this way, okay? So you don't need those extra calories anymore. Your metabolism has slowed down, and now you're starting to get a little bit pudgy, okay? So when you stop growing the one way, you start growing the other way. So how do we know how much fat is good and when it's too much fat? Well, medically speaking, we actually use a calculation, and it's not your weight. Everybody thinks fat is what your weight is. It's really not that easy. You can't really go by weight. What matters to us is a number we call the BMI, or body mass index, okay? So your body mass index is your weight adjusted for your height, and it's measured in the wonderful units of kilogram per meter squared, okay? So what does that mean? That means if you're doing your weight in pounds, you have to convert that to kilograms, right? And to do that, you can divide by 2.2, which actually makes you feel better about your weight, because if you're 165 pounds, you divide that by 2.2, you're 75 kilos, which sounds like a nice number compared to the 165, right? Your height, you would have to convert from inches to meters. And you can do that one by dividing by 39.37, okay? So you can take your height, you square it, you take your weight divided by height squared, and that gives you your BMI. Or you can do what I do, and that is just open up a table or a calculator online and just look and see what your BMI is, and not have to do all this math. You can do it the easy way. Just use a chart. There's plenty of BMI charts out there. So what BMI do you want? Well, a BMI of 18 to about 25 is considered normal, okay? So that's normal weight. When you get up above 25, it's abnormal, and we call that overweight. When you get above 30, you're obese, and above 40, you're extremely obese, okay? So you really don't want to get above 30, and you certainly would prefer to be below 25, okay? So what can we do to reduce our weight? Well, I would do 3 steps, okay? And the first step you have to do is you actually have to know what your weight is, which means you have to step on that horrible device that they call a scale. Okay? And there's two kinds of scales. There's the scale that has this little needle thingy that slides this way, slides that way, and gives us a number. That would not be the kind of scale I would recommend because they're just so hard to read, you know? What you really want is you want a digital scale, you know? And you can get these at the store for about $20, you know, just a regular digital scale. And it basically looks like this. It's just a regular scale, but instead of having that crazy needle there, it actually spits out the number, okay? That puts a weight there, you know, 165, 265, whatever that number needs to be, it tells you the weight. But the reason it's important to have your weight and to weigh yourself every week is because when you decide to lose weight, you want to lose about a pound a week. Pound a week is considered healthy weight loss. Whatever you're doing, if you're losing a pound a week, is working out just fine. If you're not losing a pound a week, then whatever you're doing is not working, and you need to change things, and you'll know every week whether you're doing a good job or not, you know, because every week you weigh yourself. Now, the best way to weigh yourself is when you first wake up and in your birthday suit on the way to the shower, okay? No clothes, because clothes mess with the weight. You just want to know, right, first bat in the morning, what's my weight? And you do it the same time every week. And sometimes it's good to pick a day like Saturday or Sunday or some day or Friday when you think you're just going to go crazy and eat more over the weekend, because that way it motivates you. So you do it every Friday. Okay. So that's step one. Step one is you weigh your stuff. Step two, the difference between nutrition and weight. Okay. So for nutrition, any kind of healthy snack is better than whatever's coming out of a box or can, okay? For weight, a calorie is a calorie. 100 calories of carrots, 100 calories of chocolate. Your body does not care. You just ingested 100 calories, okay? There are a lot of fat vegetarians out there. So a calorie is a calorie for weight. So what you have to work on, people always want to lose weight by changing their diets, you know, and they want to do this dramatic diet change, and that's going to lose their weight, and then they end up going back on a diet that doesn't work. I prefer something that I named after my sister. It's called the Dottie diet because she told me how to do this. And basically, it's really very simple. If you eat less, you weigh less. Very novel concept here. You eat less, you weigh less, okay? By eating less portion size of the same food you're eating now, your weight will automatically come down. There's no way around that. It's medically true. Eating less, you weigh less. Now, you can't eat less than a certain number of calories a day or your body goes into starvation mode. Eat less, you still eat 3 meals a day. People are like, oh, eat less, I'm going to skip breakfast. Well, that's not a good idea because then your body thinks it's starving and every calorie becomes important and it saves all the calories. You really want to eat 3 regular meals and a couple of snacks, smaller meals, but you need to eat them. Because if you don't, again, your body thinks famine, starvation, what am I going to do? And it tries to store every calorie you get. So what you want to do is at those meals, you just want to eat less, and at the snacks, you want to eat less. Okay? And the third thing you want to do is you want to avoid eating things that are going to put calories on. Okay? And some foods out there that are labeled diet foods, I think everybody sort of knows this by now. Diet food is not necessarily a diet food just because it says the word low calorie on it or no calorie. Artificial sweeteners put a truckload of weight on people. They're not exactly a healthy alternative. Anything heavily processed is not a healthy alternative. You really want to try and stick with foods that are unprocessed. You know, you want to do some exercise, drink plenty of water, try not eating after dinner, those kind of things. The one danger people have is they don't really know what portion sizes are. And sorry about the little bit of noise there, but the portion size you can look. And you get anything you're going to eat and you take a look and it tells you on this little nutrition thing, it says here like 15 servings per container. And then it tells you how many calories. And it also tells you your serving size, which is 30 grams, 24 pretzels. So for 24 pretzels, I get 120 calories. So if I want a 100-calorie snack, I can count out 24 pretzels. If I want to have a smaller snack, I only want to maybe half that, I have 12 pretzels. So instead of me sitting here and deciding I'm going to have pretzels and, you know, yum, 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 reach in, yum, 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 some more pretzels, ooh, look, pretzels. You know, instead of doing that, you can actually just take a nice take a nice bowl and just, you know, count out. I want this many pretzels. And that's going to be my snack at 10 a.m., at 4 p.m., whatnot. And there I am, I'm limiting my snacks. Now, some people say, well, if I eat that, I'm going to be hungry all day. You know, and I can't do that. I'm just going to keep going back to this bag, and I'm going to have more pretzels until the whole bag is empty. Well, for some people, what they can do is they can say, okay, fine. This is my snack now, okay? And then I'm going to wait 20 minutes. If I'm still hungry, I'm going to have another snack this size. If I'm still hungry, I'll come back in an hour and have another snack this size. And you can spread out the snacking so it's not this constant eating and gnawing just because it's there. People are very worried about not finishing the food. You know, if the plate is full, I have to eat these because these are all here, so now I have to eat them all, right? They're worried about taking this and throwing it out. Okay, your body is not the garbage disposal. You don't throw it into yourself. You can throw this out if it's not. If you can save it, you save it. If you can't save it, you can throw it out. And then what you do is you write a big check to the World Food Bank, because the World Food Bank will give hungry people some food, and then you learn to take less next time. Otherwise, those starving people are not going to get what's on your plate. Starving people don't get anything on your plate. So, you know, you write the check to the World Food Bank and you go from there. Okay. So, now you do need to allow yourself to have some guilty foods, okay? It's all about serving size, you know? You need to enjoy life. You need to eat to live and live to eat. But it should be in moderation, okay? So don't say no to things just because, if there's something you really love to eat, don't take it off the menu just because you're dieting, because what's going to happen? You're going to say, oh no, I didn't eat this all week, I need to eat this. And you're going to come off your diet and then suddenly eat it. What you need to do is just have it as a treat. You know, I'm going to have one of these a day, or I'm going to eat these only on Fridays. Just have it in there as a treat so that you can still enjoy things, but you don't overindulge. Okay? So hopefully this helped you a little bit with planning your diet from now on. This is an easy start for most people. Anything more than this, I would seek someone trained in dietetics or a physician to talk with you about. And again, you know, thank you for joining me. Look for more of our videos in the future. Like and subscribe. And God bless. Take care. See you in the next video. Enjoy.